We are live. Good morning from frosty downtown Crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire. I forgot I still have a couple of these in my mouth. Whoppers. Malted milk, little malt balls, malt sugar, coated in cheap chocolate. Mm. Patches has made some improvement, my little kitty cat, but she's had a few setbacks and she really has difficulty walking. She drags one hind leg and she doesn't walk very far. I try to give her opportunities to walk for the exercise to try to improve it. Well, we had our second major winter storm. Lots of rain and a little snow in Crestline. Lots of snow in Big Bear. Let's see if I can show you the view outside the window. All you see is glare. Sorry. Oh, later today, when I'm brave enough or foolish enough to venture outside, I'll record it on my phone and upload the snow. Mm, it's pretty, but it's cold. It's about 60 degrees in the living room, 30 degrees outside, and 40 degrees in my kitchen and bathroom. Oh, Lord. I'm so tired of cold. And the cats have cabin fever. And all kinds of stuff is going on in the world. We had a Marine helicopter on a training mission crashed down near San Diego. Hi, at Sequentia in the chat room. Sorry you missed the stream last week. You can always listen to a replay if you really need to. Um, anyway, near the Miramar Marine Base down in San Diego County, a helicopter on a training flight crashed, and all five on board, all five Marines, did not survive. Sad. Um, let's see, the Supreme Court is hearing a case. I forget which one. Let's see. Oh, it's whether to keep Trump off the ballot in Colorado. And lawyers are asking the Supreme Court to hear a case about Trump's immunity as president because on that infamous date, he was still the president when he gave his speech. And there was a rowdy demonstration down the street from his rally. Yes, I'm speaking carefully because of censorship. Hang on. There. Got rid of the last of the malt sugar. Someone said it was made from wheat. Mom always said it was made from barley. I don't know. I'll look it up if I care to. Last night I watched Walter Bosley's live stream called California. His guest, whose name I keep forgetting, does research about satanic cults and serial killers and stuff like that. Hi, Evie. Meanwhile, I received a package all the way from England with a nice note. Where did you cats put my papers? They were right here. Oh, I moved them to protect them from cats. From JD. Hope this finds you well. Just a little love sent from England. And 2 hugs. Very nice. Ooh, hi Evie. Good to see you here. There was I opened it on Tuesday, and there was a bag of original Werther's original caramels, but eye itchies again. I gave the bag of caramels to the intrepid lady who drove me to the post office during a brief break in the storm, and she certainly deserved them. Yes, their caramel is awesome. I happen to have a bag of their caramels hidden away. The cats think anything in that kind of bag is cat treats and they'll rip it open. And then night before last, we had a brief power outage, so I took the gadget out of this box. I'm amazed. It weighs nothing. It has a solar panel and a charging port. It's incredibly bright. It works really well. And it isn't heavy. I love it. And it has a UK rep label. UK authorized representative, company name, blah, 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 in London. Eight LEDs plus a cob, whatever that is. The thing on the side here. I don't know what that means. Do not irradiate the eyes directly to avoid damage to the eyes. No kidding. When the battery is low, please charge it in time and do not run out of battery. When the searchlight is off and not in use, charge it every other segment. I don't know what a segment is. High brightness LED with large light cup. Oh, the lens thing. The nest that the lens sits in. That the light bulb sits in. Support USB charging. Convenient and safe. It is made of ABS plastic, strong and durable, light and portable. It weighs almost nothing. It has to have some batteries in the front part, but this back part with the solar panel, I feels like it's empty. Hi Oswald, hi Freeman. So I got all these goodies from JD in England. A back brace that gets warm. I haven't tried it yet. I must try it. Ladies Fontel thermal sleeveless vest top. Okay, so it isn't exactly a back brace, but I've been told that it does kind of brace your back a little. I'm going to use this today when I go outside. Hi, Morgan. When I go outside to take phone photos, a phone video of the snow for you guys. We got only a few inches in beautiful downtown Crestline, but the snowplow came by anyway and made a berm. But a neighbor from down the street came along and flattened the berm. It was less than a foot high anyway, maybe 8 or 10 inches. The berm is a pile of snow along the side of the road, holding all the snow that the plow scraped off the road. And when it's flattened out, the road is still clear, but the snow in the berm melts faster because it isn't as thick. Okay, what else did she send me? Shrink wrapped knit gloves. I don't know why they're shrink wrapped, but okay. That says something. Oh, it says, oh, it's so wrinkled for being shrink wrapped. Something about I can't read it. CA something. Tattoo women convert or cold days. Whoever wrote that doesn't speak English. Yeah, made in China. I can always use another pair of gloves. I don't like mittens, the ones where your fingers are all in one pouch. It's hard to do things. Oh, and look, dairy milk, Cadbury. 1.25 pounds is the price. I haven't converted that. I should do that. What it is in US dollars. Okay, 1.25 British. Come on. POU pounds to US dollars. $1.58. Oh my God. The pound has suffered. I remember when a British pound was 5 American dollars. Now it's barely more than $1. But you know what? Here in the US, a bar like this would cost between $4 and $5, depending on where you shop. And I'm going to bet, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to bet that the one from England is better quality. This, oh, and thermal socks. I believe there's at least one pair. I think there's two. No, there's just one. One pair of thermal socks. I'm going to wear those when I go outside too. Oswald says, being a self-hating Michigander, I don't like mittens either. Mom used to shove my hands into mittens when we visited the family cabin in Running Springs in the winter. I hated that. Although quite often I didn't have anything for my hands at all. Freeman is glad someone else is helping me. And these fruit pastilles, I think they're what we call gumdrops. Can you resist the chew? I'm pretty sure these are what we call gumdrops. They're a jellied candy, very firm jelly. Well, probably gelatin, maybe corn syrup candy, and coated in granulated sugar. Let's see. Where's the ingredients list? Contact us free. It has a nutritional whatever. Sugar. Get off me, Smokey, you're not helping. Glucose syrup. Get off. The cat is helping with her tail. Okay. Sugar, glucose syrup, starch, invert sugar syrup, acids, malic acid, citric acid, lactic acid, acetic acid, okay, concentrated fruit juice, apple, blackcurrant. You can actually get blackcurrant here after decades of not, but they're expensive and rare and usually imported. Lime, orange, strawberry, lemon, acidity regulator, which is I can't say iridium. It can't. Trisodium citrate. Flavorings, colors. So it's all sugar, no gelatin. Back in the day, Our gumdrops were made with gelatin, but not anymore. Oh, vegan friendly. Now, the corn syrup in England and Canada is not usually high fructose. It's just corn syrup. In other words, liquid sugar. Oh, somebody's trying to tell me it's impolite to read the ingredients of a gift. I borrowed Angel. Welcome in. There's Witta. I'm almost through with the unboxing. Oh, I am through. That's just a label for the thermal socks. I think that's everything. Thermal socks, knit gloves. I keep forgetting the camera's down there, not on the screen. Gumdrops, also known as fruit pastille. An awesome English Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate. Oh, a flashlight like no other. It's incredibly bright. Don't ever point it at anybody's face. And a little, another light on the side that you can use, I guess, if you don't want the huge bright light. And a thermal vest to wear under everything. I am wearing a thermal shirt, but this, I think, is going to be even, like reinforcement under the thermal shirt. What they're calling thermal shirts these days is lycra. It's like yoga pants material. It isn't as good as wool or even crappy cotton. A lot of warm things, yes. Oops. Want to keep the glare off of the camera. It's sunny and the sun is reflecting off the snow. Yeah, polyester. Thank you, Borrowed Angel. I can wear wool if it isn't the cheap wool that hasn't been, carefully processed and made soft. But quite often, if you get wool thermals here, they're the cheap stuff that you don't have to be allergic to it. It's scratchy. It isn't soft. Borrowed Angel is getting a polar vortex here in the Appalachian Mountains next week. Well, you're probably getting a good portion of the storm that just hit us. This was our second storm. The first one just brought me rain. This one brought some snow, only a few inches. But up in Big Bear and Running Springs, it's measured in feet. No, I don't wash away in floods. I chose this location very carefully. The most water invasion I've ever had from a major storm was a little puddle in the mud porch where you theoretically take off your boots before you walk into the house. It's a tiny mud porch. It's like 2 feet square, but it works. and the rest of my house is raised up about 6 or 8 inches above the mud porch. Yeah, this was our second, and we have a third one coming. We're supposed to get a break this weekend. Oh, Patches. Patches has made some improvement and had a few setbacks. She still drags one hind leg. She only walks a few feet and then sits down for a while. But I try to give her every opportunity to walk for the exercise and maybe get that leg working again. And she needs to see the vet again, but we kind of need better weather. We couldn't go down, partly because we're old ladies and we're careful and sensible. Hi, Dawn. And partly because we had slick roads, rock slides on the main highway, and dense fog. And, it wouldn't help Patches any if we crashed or the car got ruined by rocks trying to drive down to the vet. The ones on the mountains want way too much money. They're incredibly expensive. And I found a nice vet down the hill in Redlands who's really good and caring and good at his job and doesn't charge an arm and a leg. And he saved Patches. I thought we were going to have to put her down till this doctor, whose name I keep forgetting, got a look at her. Oh, the label's all gone on this. Let me see. Where is it? Where's the other bottle? Come on. Did you cats mess with my stuff again? Dang it. Where's the other bottle? It would have the vet's name on it if I could find it. Huh. I'm sure that I put it there. I didn't toss it out, did I? Criminy. Well, it must be a cat toy. Let's see. Oh, there, here. Other box. Doctor. It just names the hospital. Doctor. It's kind of faded and smeared. Mefre Girgis. No wonder I can't remember it. I'll have to ask him how to pronounce his name. Howdy, Don Burnham. Freeman. Cats know that Patch's medicine tastes disgusting, so they hid it away, thinking I'll stop giving it to her. Well, she's out of medicine now, so no more torturing of the poor kitty. The poor injured kitty who's also tortured with nasty, disgusting medicine. She was supposed to take it for 2 weeks, and it's been 2 weeks. You see, the steroid in particular, you can't give it to her long term. You have to slowly wean her off of it by reducing the dose over the course of the second week. I got my goodies. Oh, and I can't believe in England this is less than $2. In America, it's at least $4. Same thing. And I haven't tried it yet, but I'm betting that the one from England is better than what we get here. No, she's not in pain. She's just limping, dragging one hind foot. I should get her out of her crate, but the other cats are being rambunctious and they might injure her by trying to play with her. No, she doesn't get heroin. She gets gabapentin. I'm going to ask my doctor if that might work for my back pain. I had to quit using the muscle relaxants because they contribute to urinary incontinence. And I don't want to pee my pants. Oh, the Uno bar. Uno bars. I'm working on them. And I guess our local grocery store heard me complaining. They now have Uno bars. And here I have a whole case that Freeman sent me. Oh, I was trying to figure out stiffness. Well, the vet thinks the nerves are damaged, but we're hoping that it's just a muscle problem that will resolve itself when the bruises go away and heal up. Anyway, I was worried because she wouldn't eat very much. So yesterday I used the nuclear option and gave Patches some sliced ham. She really scarfed it up. She was so happy to be eating people ham. Oh, Don says in England, Snickers are called marathon bars. Yeah, we have marathon bars, but they are not what you call marathon bars. Here, a Snickers is nougat and almonds covered in chocolate. Sometimes it's peanuts. Yeah, I think Snickers has peanuts and it's a different bar that has the almonds. They've changed it here since I was a child, but I don't like the stiff, dry nougat in a Snickers anyway, and I can't eat peanuts anymore. Here, a Milky Way is the nice soft nougat covered with a layer of caramel on top and covered in chocolate. Oh, I learned but forgot from Glenn and Friends Cooking that what they call their candy bars is not what we call them. And we have a thing called Three Musketeers, which is just chocolate covered nougat, the nice soft nougat. It used to be 3 little candy bars. That's why 3 Musketeers. There were 3 bars, small ones, but 3 of them. Freeman is playing God again. Freeman, I don't think there's much difference between Democrats and Republicans. One side creates a problem and the other fails to fix it every time. Most of them are in it for themselves. How do you become a millionaire on a senator's salary? I don't know what it is now. It was about $90,000 a year when Nancy Pelosi first started serving, and she's a multimillionaire, and she is not the only one. They won't censor her or punish her in any way because most of them are doing it too. When I do vote, I don't look at the R or the D in front of the name. I look at what they've done and what they've said in their email newsletters that they send me. Oh, hi, New York City's finest. That's another travesty. 6 migrants beat the crap out of 2 New York City police officers, and they were kicked out the same day, or maybe the next day, but I think it was the same day. No bail, just get out of here. They did detain one. I forget how much his bail was set at, but it didn't sound like enough. Well, 2 of them have been arrested at a bus stop in Arizona. Yeah, they're really going to show up for their court hearing. They fled to Arizona on a bus, a Greyhound. Oh, I'm the only one who got your name right? Well, it's been all over the news, New York City's finest. Many of my relatives are in law enforcement. I have a grand nephew or great nephew. My niece's son is a deputy. Her daughter is a cop, a police officer. And there's another son, and I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's in law enforcement. Hi, Ditch. Ditch has a Discord friend who's in Queens. I once dated a guy from Queens. He taught me some Yiddish, but it was all cuss words. And I've forgotten most of it. It's dangerous everywhere. Yeah, New York City especially, any big city. But for some reason, New York City is, if not the worst, among the worst. Um, even here in Crestline, we had a gang-related shooting at a local motel called Sleepy Hollow. They shot someone in one of the rooms. That guy survived, but they also shot and killed the night manager of the motel. And we have a lot of homeless people, but they are not pooping on the sidewalk. Um, some are camping in tents in the forest. Some are couch surfing. You stay with a friend or someone you met until they get sick of you, and then you move on to the next couch, sleeping on people's couches. And many of them are drug addicts, but not all. Some are people who just can't quite earn enough to get a place to live. Some either got sick or lost a job and couldn't pay their rent and got evicted. I'm telling you, the way to go now in California is to squat. Just break into a vacant house and set up housekeeping. It can take a year or more to evict a squatter. But if you're an actual renter, if you have kids, it'll take a month or two. Some people are kicked out in a few days. I haven't been able to do much cooking, Dawn, because I still haven't got the kitchen sink drain flowing properly. But I did make a BLT, and I'm kicking myself. I forgot to put the avocado on it. But I still have some bacon, tomato, and lettuce, so I'll make a BLT today. Bacon, lettuce, tomato with the avocado. Now, Ditch, I was homeless for 2 years, living in my Honda Accord and the office where I worked, and where I had a key to the restroom. And once a week, I'd get a motel room so I could have a real bath and sleep in a real bed. But that was by choice. My son had made a baby he couldn't afford. He was making monthly payments to the hospital. He sold his car to pay the medical bills. And he had not finished high school. He did work wherever he could get a job. He even got a bunch of supplies and started washing people's cars. He was not being lazy. And then he started getting, odd lots of stuff and selling them at swap meets. He's very industrious and all that, but now his health is really down with the heart condition and the pacemaker. And he's only 50. Borrowed angelism. Anyway, there I was working 2 jobs, living in my car, and I had a granddaughter. I finally managed to rent a room for a couple years. And then I had the opportunity to move to these mountains in '94, I think it was. Yeah, 94. My son had to move far away for work. He got a good job, but he still had a few months left on his lease, so I moved in and took over the lease. See, that way I did not have to come up with hundreds of dollars in deposits. That was always the hang up. I could handle a monthly rental, but I couldn't save up enough for the deposits. And I'd always dreamed of living in these mountains. Ooh, Borrowed Angel is doing the icing with egg whites and boiled sugar and water. That is fluffy. We call that meringue sometimes. And if you can put it under the broiler and get just a little brown on top of the egg whites, it's heaven on a spoon. You don't even need the cake. Just eat the meringue. Yeah, Don, I love avocado. I'll just sprinkle a little garlic salt on it and eat it with a spoon. Just the avocado. You be careful with your language, Freeman, but yes, what they're doing to our big cities is a crime. And they got elected, but I doubt they'll get elected again. The people on the ground who, work for a living and take care of their families have had it. They're no longer going to vote on what the politician looks like, or the ethnicity, or race, or religion, or whatever. They're going to choose more carefully. Ditch thinks he looks like an orc from the Lord of the Rings. No one messed with him. Oh, you're very welcome, Borrowed Angel. I know when I actually buy a frozen lemon meringue pie, I always, well, not now, my broiler doesn't work, but if I can dig out my old toaster oven, I'll put it in that and make sure the meringue on top is just a little bit brown, and not the everywhere, just the peaks that stick up a little. Light brown. Well, around here, I know Florida is really kind of cruel to homeless people. Um, in California, the sheriffs go around and offer them services. They can get counseling, food stamps, welfare. If they're veterans, there's more help. Our VA, Veterans Administration, is so awful that you have to really, become the squeaky wheel that gets the grease to get help from the VA. I'm with you, Freeman. Curtis Sliwa, the Guardian guy, should have won the mayoral election. I keep forgetting the name. Something Guardians. My brain needs a refresh or something. Ditch made the best steak. Lightning in a bottle. Okay. I've been watching all these shows about how to cook a steak, and I really prefer to cook it under a broiler. preferably a gas broiler with flames, or in the barbecue with coals and a little hardwood for either apple or oak for the smoke. Everyone everywhere is here. Good morning. And I usually marinate the steak for a little while with some Worcestershire sauce. In Canada, it's Worcester, and I like that. It's much easier to say. The Lee and Perrins is what they usually say in England, or L&P down in the American South. But I'll marinate it in Worcestershire sauce and garlic salt because I usually don't have any fresh garlic. If I did, I would use kosher salt and real garlic. And then sear it really well. Since I don't have a gas broiler, it'll have to be the toaster oven. Because I'm not going to set up the barbecue in the snow. The good old Weber kettle. Borrowed Angel is going to make taco soup with tortilla chips, salad, and 2 desserts. An Oreo Delight, an old-fashioned pineapple cake. Well, I'll be there at lunchtime tomorrow, Angel, and I'll bring my own napkin. That sounds delicious. Ditches in Baltimore, huh? Robbie adventures on a mobility scooter is in Blackpool, England. Well, hi, Robbie. Welcome in. Borrowed Angel loves cooking on an open fire, a barbecue. The wood smoke is intoxicating. Yes, it is. Somebody must be promoting my channel. I'm getting a few new people every week. I talk for a long time, but I don't go on every day. Oh. Freeman wants to go to Baltimore and take a dive boat tour to the U-boat that sank and visit the Edgar Allan Poe Museum. Yeah, I'm learning to cook. I am not a chef by any means. Borrowed Angel misses me when I'm not live. Well, every time I go on live, I end up talking for 2 hours or more, checking the battery on my modem. See, this is my modem. The camera's over here, not on the computer screen. This is the modem. It's portable and wireless. Let's see. Okay. Oh, New York City finest has been lurking all these very long months, eh? But I do get an email when someone signs up, and I got 2 yesterday who subscribed to my channel. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy my rambling. It's difficult to talk about the things I want to talk about. I don't want to get censored. I've actually had, over the past few years, 2 videos taken down, and I've been warned. They said I could take this video training on community guidelines, but if I do that and I make one more mistake, they'll kick me off for a week, and if I make a second mistake, they'll kick me off permanently or until I win an appeal. And they were just, I have no idea what community guidelines I might have violated, but I'm not going to take a course that puts me in a position where I could lose the whole channel. Well, Freeman, I don't need to be a multimillionaire. I just need to pay off my mortgage. At this point, because I've had the house 20 years, it's $45,000. The interest rate is rather high, but it's a fixed rate, not an adjustable. Oh no. Ditch's friend got her live stream banned because they were talking about Judaism and they're all Jewish. That's ridiculous. Rumble. I think if you want to really take advantage of Rumble software, you have to pay them every month. If it isn't too high a price, I'll look into it. I'm already on Locals. I joined Rumble, but I haven't done anything with it. I've tried to listen to live streams on Rumble. I think that's where, what's his name is. I can picture his face and I forgot. Russell Brand. I think he's on Rumble. Where am I located? Everybody knows where I am. Beautiful downtown crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire. I'm near Lake Arrowhead. Foul language and music with copyright. I got a copyright strike once, and I said to YouTube, it's just me talking. There's no music and no video, just me talking. So they removed the copyright claim. And I know who did it, although I can't prove it because YouTube won't tell me. But it's one of those mega churches that has a song called Ancient of Days, and it's an awesome song. When their choir sings it, you think you've gone to heaven, but man, do they protect their copyright. Well, Ancient of Days is a line from the book of Daniel. My mentioning it was not a reference to their song. I don't know why they call us the Inland Empire, but back in the Dark Ages, I forget exactly when, 1800s, I think, San Bernardino seceded from Los Angeles County and formed their own county. And then a few years after that, I have cat hair in my mouth. Happens all the time now. Um, Riverside County seceded from San Bernardino County because they didn't like all those drunks in San Bernardino. Uh, Wyatt Earp's family owned a saloon on the main road in San Bernardino. Oh, hi, Jamie Flynn. Jamie, Jesus is my Savior, Flynn. Oh, I don't know about the others, the warnings, whether it was reported or just their algorithm, but someone reported me for calling my show Ancient of Days. So I quit doing that. And it's ridiculous. I think it's chapter 7 in the book of Daniel. The Ancient of Days is sitting on the throne, and oh heck. Well, I forget what Daniel called him, and Jesus quoted him. The guy comes riding in on the clouds. All right, I can look that up. Google is my friend. Uh, yeah, Daniel 7:13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven there came one like a son of man, and he came to the Ancient of Days. And Jesus called himself the Son of Man, and the Pharisees freaked out because they knew that meant that he was calling himself God. Let's see, the record company, Don says, the record company tried to sue John Fogerty for sounding too much like CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Took him a long time to get the rights to play his own CCR songs on his own. I have a vague memory of that. I'll bet the lawyers got rich on that lawsuit. Come on. Here. No, not Ezekiel. Daniel. Daniel chapter 7. Well, let's see. Let's see what Google says. Why is it called the Inland Empire? Developers in the area likely introduced the term to promote the region and to highlight the area's unique features. The inland part of the name is derived from the region's location, about 60 miles inland from Los Angeles and the Pacific Ocean. I got news for you guys, it's 70 miles to downtown LA. Oh, and by the way, Riverside is beside the Santa Ana River. So it's Riverside. Okay, Google is not helpful on the origin of empire. What's the Apocrypha chapter of the Exodus? in which someone tried to glue back together the third tablet? I have no clue. That's probably from that movie, Mel. Is it Mel Blanc? Oh, shoot. My brain's. It's not Mel Blanc. He did Bugs Bunny. And I get 10 things I hate about YouTube. The first result. Mel Brooks. 15 commandments. I bring you these 15. Whoops. 10 commandments. It's such a great scene. Yeah, I'm sure David Lynch has connections to the Inland Empire because Twin Peaks is a community near me. History of the world. Yeah, that's Sequentium. It says 15 is too much to remember anyway. Tora, stay out of my coffee. Say hello to your fans. They adore you, but not as much as they adore Patches. Your status has gone down a notch. Yeah, 15 is too much to remember, and yet Moses made hundreds of laws. And the way I see it looking back, God made all the laws we need. Moses made the rules and regulations for his people, not for me. Thousands of years later, get out of my coffee. Knock it off, Tora. Put the walkers on the top of the cup. Tora's my main kitty cat. I think the weirdest movie that I've never seen, because I'm scared to, is Mulholland Drive. You can't have my chocolate bar either. Chocolate is bad for cats. It kills them. Okay, all right. Yes, I have some kitty cat treats. She looks around to make sure the other cats know not to pester her. All right, here's Tutu and Smokey and 3C. Originally the 3 feral kittens. They are still pretty feral, but they love treats. They were number 1, number 2, and number 3. Number 1 became Patches because she has patches of orange on her cheeks. Number 2 became Tutu. She kind of reminds me of a ballerina. Number 3 became 3CPO, 3C for short. And Smokey moved in, and she's a bully. Her humans moved away and left her here. She's gray and fluffy, long-haired, gorgeous, affectionate, playful, and nobody wants a cat. I really want to adopt her out. Nobody wants her, even though she's spayed now and will not make kittens. Freeman says Mulholland Drive isn't so bad. Hollywoodland has language you'll hate, but it is great. Better or worse than that? LA Confidential. I have seen LA Confidential. Somehow it wasn't scary, it was painful. LA Confidential. Ditch's cats are Ondine and Guinness, the two Irish goddesses. Well, why are you planning to be homeless with two cats? Don't be mean to your kitties. I had to get my brother to take care of my dog Molly, who is really my son's dog, a black lab mix, and my two original cats, Tuffy and Cubby. Cubby lived to be 20, and I think Tuffy was 19. I never remember my pets' exact birthdays, but I think these three feral kitties were born around June 1st last year. And the feral mommy cat disappeared when they were too young to be on their own. You tell them, Tora. Tell the kittens not to bother you. Anyway, they soon discovered that there was cat food in my house. So I got a local charity to get them all spayed and get their shots because I could not afford to get three cats spayed, and they were all female. Uh, Males don't cost as much, but they aren't cheap either. Well, anyway, they're kind of almost tame for me, but not for other people. Except Patches, she's kind of friendly to one of my friends, but anyone else comes by and they all scatter and hide. Oh, Dawn and Ditch like Guinness. Ditch's cats are 20 years old. That's a long, long time for a cat. They say that the average pet cat lives 8 years, but that's counting things like getting run over by a car. Welcome back, New York City's finest. Can I call you finest? That's a big mouthful to say. Oh, by the way, I have coffee, tea, and water as usual. Sometimes I also have pink lemonade. Wow. In Ireland, Guinness is 5.5 pounds for a pint. That is super expensive. Well, here in the US, you can get Bud Light for free. No one will take it. Actually, they still have some market share, but they're way down on the list of market share. People didn't stop drinking beer, they just switched to other brands. Huh. Dawn gets a pack of 4 cans of Guinness for $8.50. Oh, I guess that's pounds. Oh, no, that's dollars. Or $16 for an 8 pack. Well, worse than Bud Light is Disney. They don't get it. They're putting women and others in their LGBTQ scenario. It's fine, but you need to tell a good story, and they're not telling good stories. Oh yeah, mods can share links. I don't seem to have any mods. Well, who's been behaving the best lately? Oh, Witta is a mod. It is in the description. Let me do something real quick. I think I can get the link. I don't think I've cleared my little. Okay. My favorite is PayPal because they don't charge any um, fees. There's PayPal. Well, if I make you a mod, you have to behave. Why do these fly-in frames always cover what I'm trying to read? When I'm on my phone watching YouTube and an email comes in, the message that I have an email covers the YouTube video. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. Buy me a coffee confused me, but it's all settled. They couldn't verify me. So there's buy me a coffee and GoFundMe is this. And I have an Amazon wish list. Freeman got me a bunch of stuff from Amazon, but I'm trying to set up my kitchen and get warm winter stuff like socks, mostly socks. Because it's winter, and apparently, even in the spring, it's going to be much colder than normal. I just got my links up, Angel. And right now, the deep south is really in for a major storm. What's the highest priority? I think the socks. And I can always use cat treats, but at the moment I'm stocked because on the recommendation of several friends, I tried Chewy.com. And it's certainly better than Amazon. I mean, Amazon gives me free shipping and then doubles the price of whatever I'm buying. Chewy's prices are reasonable and they do charge shipping on some things, but it's reasonable. Yeah, taxes and fees. Well, fees are okay, but if you have PayPal, some people refuse to use PayPal. They don't charge fees if you say it's going to a friend. And even when they do charge fees for business transactions, they're much lower than GoFundMe and Buy Me a Coffee. And the more I look into YouTube and monetizing, the more I think, no. According to YouTube itself, when you get a super chat, YouTube takes 30% plus fees. I don't have a Chewy wish list, but they like Temptations and Party Mix. They love Fancy Feast canned food, but they usually get Friskies canned food because of the price difference. The price is about the same, but a can of Fancy Feast has half as much in it. Yeah. Wow. Um, Water's almost empty. And yes, I'm smoking too much, but it's my only bad habit unless you count coffee, which I don't. Everybody has to have at least one flaw. Nobody's perfect. Ditch says his cats like Frito cheese dip. It's bad for them, so he hides it. My cats have to inspect whatever I'm eating, just in case they might want it. Now, Freeman already got me a whole bunch of good kitchen stuff and an energy efficient heater. You know what energy efficient means? It doesn't get very hot, but it's fine for what I use it for. I point it right at myself when it's really cold, or I put it in the bathroom, which gets too cold, just so the pipes won't freeze in the winter. New York City's finest has a chihuahua. You have to spell things because he knows everything. Yeah. My cats know what OUT means and DOOR. They have cabin fever really bad because they've been in so long during the storms. Mostly because if I let them out, I have to open the DOOR to let them back in, and they come in one at a time, which means I'm letting cold air into the house 6 times. Freeman says we should move into a disguised warehouse and be the low rent X-Men. Oh, what Disney is doing to Wolverine is a crime. They want to have these female villains from an alternate universe go 3-on-1, fight Wolverine, and win in the Deadpool movie. They're supposed to defeat Wolverine. Well, Hugh Jackman isn't having it. Wolverine is my favorite of the X-Men. And many of the X-Men movies just don't appeal to me, but I did like the one with Captain Picard as the, I guess, director. And Wolverine hooks up with a woman who can't touch people because they'll die if she touches them, and she'll drain all their energy. I'm told that in the comics, Wolverine was short. Hugh Jackman isn't short, but I'll forgive him. Yes, Dawn, the woman is Rogue. Her name is Rogue. I'm terrible with names. Wolverine, Ditch says, is 5'2". Well, Hugh Jackman isn't. That's okay. Oh. Now, see, with X-Men, when the ending is just lots of special effects and an unbelievable climax, you don't care, or I don't care, because it's all fantasy. Well, Ditch, I assume they made him big because they couldn't get an actor that short who could play Wolverine. Yeah, Chincoteague. I think I still have my copy of Misty of Chincoteague. That's why I can pronounce Chincoteague. Apparently, Disney seems to think if you have let's see, the right ethnicity, the right gender, you don't have to know how to act. Especially if you have a disability, you don't even have to talk. Uh, and the story doesn't need to be any good either. You just have to have diversity. Well, that isn't why I go to movies. Well, I also liked Thor Ragnarok. That was an awesome ending. I think it's safe to give a spoiler since movie's been out for ages and ages, and I got to see it for free. I forget whether it was Netflix or Amazon Prime. Anyway, he's fighting to save Valhalla, and then he finally realizes Valhalla must fall. It has to be destroyed. Oh, Etsy Quentia. You're entertaining. Oh, I would love to visit the shops in an Amish area. I'm told they have just awesome everything. quilts and food and all sorts of stuff. Apparently Disney is trying to ruin Deadpool 3. I've never seen Deadpool. I never heard of it till all this ruckus with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Is that a good way to run a company, to a media company, to disrespect your stars? New York City's finest. If you open a new tab on your browser and go to the Amazon wish list, you can bookmark it. That's how I get the link. I go to Amazon and open my wish list and copy the link that's in my browser. And then I emailed it to myself. That's how I can get them so quickly. I emailed all the links to myself. And once in a while I have to send it again because my email gets full and it's way down on page 2 or 3. Oh, Oswald is, I see, thank the name. That's how they say God in Hebrew. That Disney never got hold of Blade Runner. Yeah, but they're making another sequel, and I have little hope that it'll be very good. Oh, horse and buggy. I'd love to have a horse and buggy. I really would. Or just a little dog cart. That'd do for me. But it isn't practical in today's world unless you're Amish. Oh, Borrowed Angel says to save an Amazon wish list, you hit remember in your Amazon account. Okay. Now, Hashem is the name, and I still keep forgetting to ask someone who would know. Since Shem means name, did Noah name his son Shem? Name? That would be so awesome. Because Shem, of course, is the ancestor of the Israelites who worshipped the name. Yeah, Witta, you're right. It should save as a bookmark, but sometimes, like my bookmarks, they're pretty full. Oh, there's a rumor that Netflix has filed a copyright request for The Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch by Philip K. Dick. So it looks like they might be making a movie of The Three Stigmata. That'd be cool to have Phil's work, that novel, made into a movie. And I wonder if they might be hiring the those who studied at my alma mater, Chapman College, which sold out and became a university, but they have some excellent film students, better than UCLA ever put out. Well, Ditch says Shem can also mean people. Well, that would work too. Don says a horse and buggy is cool. He used to have a horse cart and used to travel and write and sleep outdoors. Oh, a friend of his. Oh, pardon me. I skipped down too quick. Robert Louis Stevenson used to have a horse cart and buggy. You mean a horse and buggy? And used to travel and write and sleep outdoors, and he said he only needed 3 hours. Yeah, there's Thomas Edison claimed he slept no more than 6 hours, but usually 3. Well, that would explain why he was so stupid he didn't get enough sleep. But Stevenson was awesome. But wasn't he in England? I bet you could still do that in some parts of England. There are little villages where people regularly ride through on their horses to visit friends or go to the shops. Edison just tried and tried and tried. Well, this didn't work, I'll try that. And eventually got something that worked, but more often he simply beat a real inventor to the patent office. Okay, let's get to the newest comments. I don't, I've never watched Goodfellas. Don't intend to. I don't get paid for anything. The lawyers made some money. I got a payout, a payoff, about 15 years ago now. Well, 14, I guess. That was doled out in small increments once a year. It's all gone. But their family. Um, and one of them is my son. He see their major decisions have to be unanimous, and he told his 2 sisters, "You just do what you have to do. I'm staying out of it." He understood that he was biased toward me. But in the negotiations for a settlement out of court, uh, run by a judge, but not a court hearing. It was a good thing that I knew a lot about copyright law. Oh, I didn't even watch The Godfather. I've seen clips, of course, but it's just not my thing. I did like the Untouchables. Oh, I forgot the actor's name again. Uh, oh well, he was great as Elliot Ness, and it did have. Oh come on, the Scottish guy who played 007. How could I forget his name? I'm really losing it. Sean Connery, thank you, Ditch and et Sequentia. Jeez, my water's empty, so hang on a minute while I refill it. Oh, my back hurts. It's morning and it's cold. Okay, come on. Dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum. Hook 'em, Dano. I know it's irrelevant, but I wanted to say that. Ah, I show my age when I refer to TV shows. Dragnet, Columbo, Hawaii Five-O. Um, oh, what was the one with Charlie's Angels? I got that in my head because Charlie had three angels. I think one of them was Farrah Fawcett. Oswald wants to know if I agree that Sean Connery would have been the ideal actor to play Walter Bosley in the biopic of Bosley's military career. Well, maybe if when he was younger, he's too old to play a man in his 20s. Ditch is 34 and remembers Hawaii Five-O. But do you remember Ellery Queen, Gunsmoke, Have Gun Will Travel, Rawhide, Fury, um, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, uh, Howdy Doody, Bozo the Clown, Hobo Kelly. Oh boy, I need to check the battery again. It's doing well today. If the battery on my modem runs out, I'm offline, and it takes forever to get it charged enough to turn it back on. Don actually never had seen Hawaii Five-O, but he used to watch Nick at Night all the time. I Love Lucy, Bob Newhart, Taxi, Happy Days, The Wonder Years. Yeah, I saw a couple episodes of The Wonder Years, but it didn't work out on my schedule. And back then, you watched a TV show when it was on, or you didn't watch it at all. And the network chose the time. Oh, Netflix just told New York's Finest he has to subscribe again. Uh, well, I'm on my sister's family plan, so I get Netflix for free. But lately I haven't seen much that I wanted to watch. I got tired of Doctor Who. I've seen every old Doctor Who that I could find, especially Tom Baker. And I watched a lot of the new ones. I would binge watch each Doctor and then watch it again because there's always something that you missed. But I don't know, lately they just hasn't had the same zing. Let's see. I'm old enough to be Ditch's granny. My granddaughter is, let me think, 31 or 32. Oh, she'll be 31 in April. Borrowed Angel has been in love with Doctor Who since she was a wee child. Well, one day when I was in, I don't know, 7th or 8th grade, anyway, junior high, we didn't call it middle school then. I came home from school and my brother was watching Doctor Who on our black and white television, and it was a Tom Baker episode. And I got so hooked on it, I used to, because I walked home from school a couple miles, I would walk as fast as I possibly could to get home in time to see Doctor Who. And then there was Dark Shadows. Barnabas the vampire was already an established character when I discovered Dark Shadows the same way. I came home from school and my brother was watching it. Tom Baker is the quintessential Doctor Who. They seem to have forgotten the kindness that Tom Baker established. The one defining aspect of Doctor Who's character is kindness. Of course, it kind of backfired when he didn't kill the Daleks. Oh, the Vincent van Gogh episode was epic. Oh, Borrowed Angel says we could smoke and drink coffee together. Yeah, of course, well, not friends, when a friend, the one who drove me to pick up my package, comes over, she's a non-smoker, so she doesn't stay long except in the summer when I leave the door open all day. I'm not going out in the snow. I'm not going outside to smoke when it's 30 degrees. Oh, Robbie Adventures on a Mobility Scooter is here. Welcome in. I think if you click on the person's name in the chat, you can find them. I haven't tried it because I'm on live and I don't want to lose the connection. Oh, the Addams Family, that was fun. It was kind of a twisted version of the Munsters, but it was based on a long-running uh, cartoon that was often in the New Yorker magazine. I haven't watched Game of Thrones, Oswald, but Doctor Who is good entertainment. And it's well written for the most part. Not lately, though. What kind of tobacco? Well, when I feel rich, I get a pack of Dunhill Red. Well, American Spirits cost $16 in California, and I don't really like them. I've tried several varieties. So I stick with Camel filters. I keep forgetting the camera is not on the screen. I used to use the laptop to go on live. Yeah, Camel filters, I managed to get them for just under $10 a pack. Although I had to go to a different shop last time, so it was like $10.50 a pack. We can't get Marlboro or any menthol cigarette in California because they're flavored and they're banned. Now the smoke shops are selling various little flavors separate from the cigarettes so you can add them. They're afraid that children will be encouraged to smoke because of flavors, and they don't understand that most children, A, don't like tobacco, and B, can't stand menthol. Camels have the fewest chemical additives of any American brand, with the possible exception of American Spirit. But since they dropped the word native and they're no longer made by Native Americans, I'm not so sure. They're made by a corporation now. No, Governor Gruesome Newsom of California led the charge. First to ban fruit flavored cigarettes, which I can kind of see, but he included menthol. Once in a while, I want a menthol, especially if I have a cold. But now you have to buy the menthol in a little package separate from the cigarettes. Jeez. Our state is run by idiots. They're either incredibly stupid or evil, or maybe both. Had enough tobacco, I think. Tora, don't bug me. She keeps tapping my arm. If it isn't my arm, it's my leg. And after a few taps, even with a soft paw, it hurts. All right, I'll get the treats. It's almost empty, you know, and I'm not opening a new bag today. Well, maybe I am. Here come the, I don't know, they're either buzzards or piranhas. Well, 3C, you know I can't reach that spot. You have to come over here. That's a good girl. Now, don't let Smokey steal your treats. Cats. Yep, it's gonna be empty very soon. Ah. Oh, cats. I wanted a dog and God sent me cats. Yeah, I've tried the pouches of American Spirit, but they just don't do it for me somehow. I got a little machine for shoving the tobacco into the tube because I can't roll a cigarette to save my life. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get cigarettes if I didn't have someone not totally providing, but contributing to the tobacco fund. I think that cigarettes, they do seem to reduce my back pain. And I've been smoking since more than 50 years now. I've tried occasionally to quit, but it's weird what happens. The cats go into nicotine withdrawals because they're breathing it too. You don't want to see a cat in withdrawals. It isn't pretty. Tora, knock it off. I gave you everything. Oh, Borrowed Angel says nicotine helps the nerves relax. That's good to know. You can get marijuana here more easily than you can get tobacco. So I'm going to ask my doctor if the gabapentin, which is for nerve pain, the gabapentin that my cat got, maybe that would work for me. Tora, get out of my stuff. Coffee is bad for cats. It'll give you a heart attack. And tea has nicotine too. Not nicotine, caffeine. Stay out of my coffee. Stay out of my tea and stay out of my water. She says, you know I just want treats. Fork 'em over, lady. Come on, human slave. Smokey is beginning to learn that she doesn't have to steal the other cat's treats because I'll give her some too. Tora's crunching away on her temptations. If I give her two and then wait a minute and give her two more, she thinks I gave her more than if I just gave them to her all at once. Ditch wants LSD legalized. Well, back some 30 years ago, when I didn't know it was illegal, I ate some blue mushrooms. My son brought them home from a Grateful Dead concert. If you've eaten blue mushrooms, do not look in the mirror. Trust me, it'll drive you insane. If I hadn't suddenly remembered, oh, I ate a blue mushroom, I think I would have gone mad. Oh, when Ditch trips, he looks in the mirror. Yeah, but LSD is not a blue mushroom. I went outside and watered the lawn, and in my head, I could hear the grass thanking me for the water. I don't have a lawn up here on the mountain. It wastes water, and there's no point. These are the mountains. Oh, hi, Sarah. I think I'm okay. I've been on for 2 hours, and it feels like 1 hour. Got a lively chat room today. Ed Sequentia wants to give someone caffeine and nicotine so she'll be more productive at the office and work overtime. Let's see. Scrolling up. I don't know what that refers to. Wow. This has been really annoying, all this weather. Oh, Tora. I get it. Tora should get caffeine and nicotine. Cats don't work. They play all day long and half the night. Ah. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, I'm safe. I'm inside, warm and dry. Well, dry. It isn't terribly warm. I've managed to get the house up to 60 Fahrenheit. Let's see. 60 F2C. 15.5 centigrade. It's still 30 degrees outside. Oh no, it isn't. It's 29. That's below freezing. Freezing is 32. Well, Borrowed Angel, if you trip on that stuff, it's probably laced with something. When I was in high school, you had to smoke half a baggie of that stuff to get anything but hungry. Let's just check the phone since I told it to shut up. Do not disturb. I don't see anything that needs my attention. But don't worry about me in these storms. I have the good sense to stay inside. Even if I'm running out of cigarettes and coffee. But we're in for a third storm. At least we'll have some dry weather this weekend. The third storm is supposed to be very light, scattered showers, but the ground is already saturated. So the fact that we got snow this time, even though it was just the last 2 or 3 days of the storm, the fact that we got snow is a blessing because it melts slowly, so it won't cause a flood the way that much rain would. Talking video games. I haven't played video games because if I can't own the disc and play it whenever I want without wasting my internet bandwidth, I don't want it. I do play Solitaire and Minesweeper offline. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. Although I am tempted to try some of the beverages I've never had, like gin, vermouth, um, that stuff with the green goddess in it, Pernod. Because I've been watching Glenn and Friends cooking, and once a week they show a video of making a cocktail 2 or 3 different ways and taste testing it, and I'm curious. Well, I do occasionally put a little schnapps in my orange juice. But a tablespoon of peach schnapps is no worse than a tablespoon of vanilla extract. It's the same alcohol content. I never was much into drugs, and contrary to all the hype, Philip K. Dick was not into drugs. If you handed him something, if you handed him a pill, he'd probably swallow it. But he didn't buy them or seek them out or use them regularly. Oh, and if you passed him a joint, he would smoke it. Once again, he didn't seek it out or use it regularly. Oh, schnapps. I'll spell that for you. Schna. I think there's 2 P's. Might be 1. Schnapps. Thank you, Ditch. I'm like, it's a German word. I don't remember what it means. Oh, I tried meth once. I slept for 6 hours. And I wanted it to stay awake to study for an exam. I was in high school. Didn't work out too well. Well, not every English-speaking person can spell a German word. It's no reflection on your intelligence or education. Yeah, I probably have ADHD. I guess I was hyperactive, but most of what I did was OCD stuff, like touching things or making sounds. It wasn't running around like an idiot. Oh, Lord. It's a good thing the cats have they're like window boxes. They extend outside the house so they can sit on their shelf and look outside and not pester me. I was good at spelling, but the only time we had a real spelling bee, I knew the letter was S, but my mouth said C on the end of a word, so of course I lost. And the next person in line spelled it right because he heard me say it. Ah. Sarah sent me a postcard from Italy. I don't think. I'm not sure whether I got it. How long ago, Sarah? You see, I don't get the mail every day. I have to go get a ride to the post office, and at most I go there once a week, and we've had all these storms, so um, I'm wondering if I got the postcard and forgot, or I don't think I got it yet. I'll go through all my papers and see, but I don't think I got it yet. Our service is slow, especially in California, where the government is run by idiots. Okay, it's safe to uncover my coffee, tea, and water. The marauding cat is satisfied with temptations. Oh my. A real Cadbury bar from England. And I am shocked. They pay less than $2. I pay between $4 and $5 for the same thing here. And it isn't made in England and imported. Our Cadburys are made somewhere in the US or possibly Canada. Yeah, my cats like Temptations and Party Mix. If they had it their way, they'd eat nothing else, but I put cat food in their dish and I expect them to eat it. The live is not over. I'm still here. But it is time to end at 2 hours and 15 minutes. You'd rather not quit? I can go a little longer if you're up for it. I think it might require a trip to the porcelain god. I need to pee, or as I like to say, recycle coffee. Oh, Ditch is talking about the Discord. I'm muffling. Let me check my. First, I'll check my. No, my audio's 100%. Let's check the modem. Well, it's almost halfway full, the battery, but I'll plug it in. That'll give it a boost. Get the cat hair off of it. Set it over here. Is that any better? You want me to watch Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager? I think I've seen a couple episodes of each of those. Oh, it's a package. A small package. And a postcard. The groundhog says an early spring, but Farmer's Almanac says it's going to be extra cold. I'll be back. I gotta recycle coffee. Dum de dum, dum de dum de dum. Yes, I'm coming to get you. Hang on, I gotta get Patches to make her guest appearance. That's a good little girl. Patches is about to make her guest appearance. Aw, sweetie. I gotta put her down by the food dish. Yes. Smokey, you be nice. Smokey's a bully. Such a good kitty cat. Yes, dear. Here you go. What is that bugging you? Hi, sweetie. Hi, Smokey. Okay, Patches needs her breakfast. I had to turn off the heater fan. She didn't like it. She'll be wanting some treats. How to give her treats without the other cats mobbing her. These are the bags that the cats got into while I was sleeping. They ripped open the bottoms. Fortunately, they were inside a shopping bag, so the treats remain, except for the ones they ate, of course. You silly cat, get off my case. Oh, they didn't get this one open. All right. You guys got treats 2 or 3 times this morning. Why do you think you deserve more? All right, Tora, Smokey, 3C. Oh, look at Patches. Patches is, what do you call it? She's hanging out with her sisters. Okay, this is done. I think it scared Sweetie away. Oh, good little Patches. She walked over here to get treats. That means she's doing a little better. Well, Tora, I gave you treats. What, it isn't worth moving your pelt an inch or two to reach them? I have to put them right by your mouth? Zoom drives me nuts. I can't just join a discussion on Zoom if I don't sign in first. It won't show my little icon thingy, and I don't want the computer taking my picture, so I just turn off the video and my square is blank. Okay. Patches found the water bowl. She's walking a little better today. I have some hopes for her. But as long as she's limping, I cannot let her outside. Something would happen to her, that's for sure. So, let's see. I guess we could talk about Phil. Aha! Last one. Empty pack. I used to glue the packs together and make like buildings, kind of like doll houses, but I usually made a barn and put little figures of horses and cows inside. Phil was complicated, and he had been through hell more than once. And some idiot keeps putting out the rumor that his grandfather abused him sexually. Not true. It was a teacher at a boarding school. And the school had to send Phil home to his mother because he refused to eat. Phil told me he actually would sneak into the kitchen and get one of the dog biscuits that they gave to the dogs for treats and eat that. But he didn't feel worthy of people food after what happened to him. His mother was very British in the way she raised her child. She was not terribly affectionate, and Phil needed affection. He needed the hugs and kisses and all that goes with it. And she was not a bad mother, just not capable of that sort of thing. You know, he was born premature. His twin sister died at about 2 months, I think 6 weeks old. He needed a lot of cuddling and didn't get it. I have no idea, Oswald. I do know that when George Clayton Johnson came to visit with his wife and daughter, Phil wanted to do bodily harm to Johnson for the way he treated his daughter. He didn't do it, but he did make his intentions known. And we never visited him, and he never visited us again. We were at a fancy restaurant called Reuben's eating steak and so forth. And there, in public, with strangers all around, this guy was spewing out all kinds of cuss words at his daughter. And we kind of had some suspicions, but no, I won't go into that. On the other hand, when Ted Sturgeon visited, he was just the most wonderful, lovable man. He talked about blowing soap bubbles in the shape of a tesseract. Okay, George Clayton Johnson was a science fiction writer. I think he wrote an episode of Star Trek. Let's see. Oh. Come on, my typos screwed it up. Here we go. American science fiction writer. He didn't even get his bad teeth fixed. Yeah, he wrote a Star Trek episode. Oh, he co-wrote with William F. Nolan the novel Logan's Run, based on the film. He also wrote scripts for The Twilight Zone and the first telecast episode of Star Trek entitled The Man Trap. I don't remember that being the first episode. Oh, by the way, he died in 2015. Let's see. Stinking typos. Look up the plot. They arrive at a planet, blah, blah, blah. Archaeological research station. Guy in the red shirt gets killed. I threw that in. Oh, I think that's where all the people are androids. Ted Sturgeon was awesome, especially More Than Human. Let's see, I gotta catch up on the chat now. Phil would have been wonderful on YouTube Live. He'd be on 24/7. You'd be watching him sleep. He'd sleep 2 hours, jump up to write something, and then talk about it on YouTube. Sturgeon wrote a bunch of episodes for the documentary Land of the Lost. Okay. I think you're pulling my leg about it being a documentary. That's how he wrote. He'd nap. He didn't really sleep through the night. He'd nap for a while, jump up and type something. If I shoved some food nearby, not on the typing table, but if I put some food nearby, he'd eat it on his way to lie down for a half an hour. Oh, the salt monster. Okay, I remember the salt monster. Okay. I just... Oh, gotta walk a Yorkie. Yeah. Okay, Angel, have a good walkies. We're over 2.5 hours now. Huh. And I need to make my BLT. And if it stays sunny and the scattered showers don't hit us, the cats can go OUT. But the DOOR will be shut behind them. Harlan Ellison was a total jerk. And I don't buy his excuse, oh, well, I'm bipolar. I'm on medication now. He was still a jerk. Good luck, Tora. That one's empty. You had enough treats. Robert Duvall is in a good episode in the 4th season of The Twilight Zone when they had hour-long episodes. I now recognize many famous actors who kind of cut their teeth in The Twilight Zone. And of course, William Shatner played the man on the airplane who saw a gremlin on the wing. Okay. Opie on Andy Griffith. I've forgotten the actor's name. Well, he was the kid who um, put things in the cornfield. The guy who did Happy Days. Ah, Lord. Ron Howard, thank you. That reminds me, there's an old British TV show of Sherlock Holmes. I find it on YouTube and it's only half an hour, but I kind of suspect that it used to be a longer show and it's had cuts made to fit it into a half hour. And the guy playing Sherlock Holmes is Ronald Howard. No relation. He isn't even related to Leslie Howard, who played Ashley in Gone with the Wind. Borrowed Angel says her husband looks like Sam Elliott. Such a handsome man. I don't know who Phil looked like. He did look a lot like his father. I met his father after Phil died. And his second wife, Gertrude, was just a darling. I don't know how she put up with that man. Oh, Burgess Meredith did a couple Twilight Zone episodes. It was so sad in the one where he finally had time to read, but he broke his glasses. Yeah, I know, you're pulling my leg, Freeman. But who knows? Maybe dinosaurs were more intelligent than we think. I saw The Big Lebowski because I was visiting my brother and he had cable and he insisted that I had to see that movie, and he was right. It was awesome. Apparently Sam Elliott is in it. Part of the reason why I forget actors' names is I don't pay much attention. The other part is even the ones that I know well, I forget their names. And I forget my neighbors' names and my friends' names. Oh, Borrowed Angel. You loved him in The Sackets, a great Western. I like Westerns. Freeman wants me to look up Stenonychosaurus, an intelligent dino. Okay, let's see. Steno. Well, what I've got here is Stenorhynchus. This is what Google gave me. Let me, come on. I think it screwed it up. What the hiss? It's messing with me. Here we go. Stenonychosaurus. Oh, it's like the what you call it's in that movie. I'm blanking. Where they made dinosaurs come to life on an island. A small dinosaur, 8 feet tall, or 8 feet in length. I guess that's including the tail. Yeah, about the size of a child, 77 pounds, 35 kilograms. Archetype for Sleestack. Doesn't look like a Sleestack. Oh well, they didn't have a big budget for costumes. Now I got Stenonychosaurus. Okay. Jurassic Park. Thanks, Dawn. What were those little dinosaurs that ran real fast? Can't remember. They were like Dobermans. The Dobermans on the one set in Hawaii. Raptors. Velociraptors. Thank you, Morgan. VELIC. I'm probably spelling it wrong. Yeah, well, I got a typo. That doesn't count. Velociraptor. I have to get the chat to scroll up past the heart icon. Youngina? Later, Freeman. Oh boy. I need my chocolate fix and my BLT with avocado. Good thing I put the avocado in the fridge. It'd be black mush by now. Tora's pretending to be I guess a boa constrictor lying on a tree branch, watching for things to pounce on. Oh boy. Anyway, it has been real and awesome, and we're almost at 2 hours and 45 minutes. I suppose reptiles might have developed intelligence on a human level. I think cats have, they just don't want us to know. There's a cute YouTube video called If Cats Had Thumbs, because once they had thumbs, they could open their own bottle of milk. You know, cats don't talk to us because they don't want to. The Permian Rift destroyed 96% of all species. Okay, I'll look up Permian Rift. I know there's a rift in Africa. By the way, you and I both spelled it wrong. I still got it wrong. Oh, it wants it capitalized. The Permian / Triassic rifting represents the first of the two Mesozoic rifting stages recorded in the Iberian Peninsula. Is that when the continents started pulling apart? Yeah. Tectonic and magmatic activity. In other words, huge volcanoes and earthquakes. Yeah, that'd destroy a few species. Freeman says cats had thumbs. I guess we bred them to not to lack thumbs so we could dominate them, but they've managed to dominate us anyway. Yeah, but bananas attract fruit flies and they come from nowhere. It's just poof, and here they are. I guess they can smell ripe banana from a mile away. Okay. Ay. I'm fading and hungry. Yeah, sky's filled with not only nitric acid, but sulfur and all kinds of crap. And very hot rocks in those huge volcanoes and earthquakes. Smokey, settle down. Oh, you're playing with some kitty. Patches! Hi, sweetie. That's a good kitty cat. You know, what this means. I think it's empty. Yeah, they're all empty, kid. I have to get a new one. Okay, hang on, guys. I have to get a new bag of treats for the kitties. Hang on, guys. All right, it's Beachside Crunch from Party Mix. Okay, they're here, kid. Oh, good. This one opened when I did the pull here thing. Smokey, you don't get to sit on my chair. Move over. You can sit on your chair, okay? Yes, dear. There, here you go. Cats. You know too many treats will make you sick. You too, Tora. Here you go. There. Oh, Patches. Did Tutu steal your treats? Here, you can have some more, okay? Oh, there. Here. Kitties. Oh, I'm going to have a little bit of my Uno bar, what's left of it, because it won't interfere with my talking as much as a Cadbury. Uno melts in your mouth. It feels like it's gone, but you can still taste it. Well, I'm glad you have a nice sunny day, Dawn. It's sunny here, but it's cold, and it isn't getting warmer. It's still 29 degrees out there. Below freezing. And somehow Pennsylvania has 50 degrees. That's almost warm. Ah, Tora, get off my desk. Cats walk all over me. Literally. I lie down to sleep and I get all these pokey paws in my tummy. Well, I'm not sure Phil, the groundhog, was fibbing when he said early spring, but people who've looked into it have said that he's wrong more often than not. And there are actually half a dozen groundhogs, but Punxsutawney Phil is the most famous. Yeah, we generally switch from jackets to sweaters when it gets as warm as 50 in the winter. Uh, shiver, shiver. With the little electric heater off, it's only about 50 in here instead of 60. And since I'm sitting still and not, if I were outdoors and active, I'd feel okay. But I'm sitting in Great Granny's rocking chair and not doing much except talk. Oh, is Borrowed Angel leaving? Oh. Oh. Okay. We'll see you, Angel. Glad to have you on board. What you chewing, kitty catty? You're right here. Yeah, that's little patches. What, dear? Those are your treats. Oh, pretty kitty. Did you want me to pick you up? All right. Make another guest appearance then. Yes, she's a pretty girl. See the patches on her cheeks? Yeah. Those other kitties can't mess with you when I hold you. Aw. Etsy Quintia does lower back stretches before getting out of bed. Works against the compression of the lower back. Oh, that the lower back gets from prolonged sitting. Yeah, I sleep elevated because I can't lie flat. It's mainly the hiatal hernia. My stomach contents will come up if I lie flat to sleep. Yeah, or sometimes even if I lie flat to get an x-ray. Patches, let's put you in your little carrier so the other cats can't mess with you, okay? I think she's done with party mix and she wants her temptations now. Yeah, I know. Hop in, kid. I know you don't like it, but it keeps you safe. Get your butt in, please. No, you don't get to come out. The other cats will tromp on you, and it's bad for your hurted legs. Yes. Both her legs were bad, but now it's mainly the right leg. Ah. Now I guess I better get her some Temptations. She didn't want more party mix. Ah. Ah. Kitty cat. I have to put the cat treats in a bag inside a box and turn the cardboard box upside down so the cats don't get it open. They know there are treats in there and they will have them. Okay, this one doesn't want to open. Scissors. They're here. No, this is for Patches. She deserves it and you guys don't. You guys are vultures and hogs. You know what they say? Pigs get fat, hogs get eaten. Here you go, sweetie. Now the other cats can't steal them from you. Okay? You're protected. Yeah. The zipper's hard to manage. There, here goes. Ah. Ah. Well, I don't sit all day long. You notice I get up a few times while I'm doing a live YouTube and I rock the chair. I'm actually doing some of my chair exercises while I'm here. Because I can't sit sometimes in a straight chair that doesn't rock, like they have at the seniors center and the Lions Club meetings. I have to get up every half hour. It kills me. Oh, Dawn needs to do more. I think he means exercise. He sits and goes on his phone and watches TV a lot. Gotta stretch more, especially during winter. I agree. It's all Dawn's cat eats is Temptations treats and some dry food. She doesn't like wet or canned food. And she drinks a lot of water. Well, yeah, make sure she has lots of water if all she eats is dry food. Otherwise, her bladder could get clogged and stop working. I'm sorry, Patches, but you gotta be protected from your marauding sisters. All my cats are female. The sweetest cats I ever had were the males, like Cubby and Uncle Joseph. His sister Smokey the first, had kittens, and Joseph was a good uncle to the kittens. I was scared he'd hurt them, but actually he was fine. He just loved them. And then I got Smokey spayed because I really did not want kittens. Well, at this time, because it's winter, my cats have a dripping faucet. If all else fails, they can still get water. Oh boy. Anyway, I have a steam thing I can use to breathe in steam to clear my sinuses. I have a steam vaporizer that'll do a small room. I have an electric heater. And if all else fails, I can simmer water on the stove to get some warm moisture into the air. But it's cold. At least the wind has quit. Last night, we had some gusts of wind that were just massive. There's a video in my channel dedicated to the memory of a cat named Chester. Oh, it must be someone else's video that I've watched. What are you cats doing? Are you getting into my boxes again? I can't freaking see. Oh, well, they're allowed in that box. It's a box of brown, crumpled brown paper for the cats. But when I'm trying to fall asleep and she's doing it every 5 minutes for 2 hours, that's a problem. I had a dog. Oh, pugs are cute dogs, but man, do they have health problems because their noses are so flat. I had a Rottweiler mix. He was part black lab. Lived to be, I was saying 16, but I think it's actually, oh, yeah, the year was 2014. He was 16. Sometimes I say 14 because the year he died was 2014. Anyway, oh, Don says a Beagle Pug mix. Yeah, oh, that'd be a little better than a purebred pug. Beagles are like Snoopy's a beagle. Doesn't look like one to me, but beagles are smart and they're very nice. I think purebred animals are a big problem. The breeders of racehorses will breed back to a horse that's basically a mutt, and the foal cannot be registered as a thoroughbred, but that foal can be the mother or father, the sire or dam, and their foal can be registered as thoroughbred. And they do that to improve the health because purebreds and thoroughbreds are so inbred that they have all kinds of health problems. Same is true of people. If you want to have children, you don't want to restrict yourself the way the wealthy and powerful elites do to others of your kind and marrying your cousins, as the European royalty did, to the point where The Habsburgs almost died out because of all their genetic defects. Let's see. Oh, here. I don't have to find another pack. I have a few wides left. Wides cost more than the Camel filters, but they have a little more tobacco in them. I still don't think that's a good deal, but when I bought that pack, it was all they had. Uh-oh. Where'd I put my lighter? Did I put it down somewhere? No, it's just in the wrong pocket. We had a dog named Misty. Her mother was a Chihuahua and Spaniel mix, and her father was a Terrier Poodle mix. And Misty was just the most darling dog. Dumb as a, I think we used to say dumb as a doorbell. No, well, anyway, she was dumb. But so loving and so good. Rather small, on the small side, but nice doggy. And our original dog, family dog, King, we used to call him stupid until we had Misty. King was smart. It seems that we always had cats when I was a child. Never had a beagle, but I knew people who did. I know, Patches, but you just gotta. I'll let you out as soon as I can, okay? Aw, sweetie, you're breaking my heart. But you're safe in there. Well, Smokey in particular just wants to jump on her and wrestle, and Patches isn't up to it. She probably wants to sit near the heater. It's warm there. Oh, Dawn's cat Snippy is a tuxedo cat, and she's 20 years old. Well, my sweetie, who's actually feral, even though she was born in my house, I think about 15 years ago, going on 16. She's a black and white tuxedo. She's old. She has the good sense to stay inside when it's cold and raining. She doesn't even ask to go out. It isn't raining now, but the snow is melting and dripping water off the trees and the roof. Well, let's put your little thingy near the heater and maybe you'll be happy. Come on, Patches. Yes. See? It's warm. See? She likes to sit by the heater. I think she was just cold cold hurts when you have an owie leg to begin with. And the rain came down, down, down. It's been ages since I was in school and we had that song. Oh, it's from Winnie the Pooh. Okay. Let's see. I have a swag code. I'm getting 2 swag bucks on swag bucks. I forget how many hundreds of points you have to get, but they used to pay in cash. Now they pay in gift cards. So when I reach a certain level, I get an Amazon gift card or, some kind of gift card. Let's see, daily poll. What motivates you to leave a comment on a social media post? Sharing my opinion or perspective? Engaging with the post creator or other commenters? Adding value to the conversation? Showing support or appreciation? Other? I rarely or never comment on social media posts, and I don't use social media. I'm going to choose other. I get a swag buck. What the hiss? What did I do? I closed the page instead of answering the poll. Oh, I guess I answered it. There, here we go. 34% said I rarely or never leave a comment on social media posts. 7% don't use social media. 20% show support or appreciation. Humph. Other is only 5%. Okay, that's interesting. Which is not pronounced interesting. It's interesting. It has 4 syllables. Count of 4. Interesting has only 3. I know that language changes, but that's a bridge too far. Well, I have to be on Facebook because I started a group there for locals to share news and yard sales and stuff. And traffic alerts. And of course, pictures of all the snow. Other people on this mountain got a lot more snow than I did. I chose this location carefully. Hey, we're over 3 hours. 3 1/4. How did our language get so rotten? Well, let's see. First, the Britons made the Celts learn British, then the Romans made the Britons learn Latin, and then the French invaded and made us speak French. We have words from all over the world. And our spelling rules don't really make sense. Oh, the simple words, yeah. But even cat, you really want to spell it with a K. And if you had learned it from the German word Katze, we'd be spelling it with a K. But we learned it from the French word chat. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but this was, hundreds of years ago, around 1066. And William of Normandy. Well, we dropped the H and made it cat with a C. We have very few words from the Celtic languages like Welsh, Irish, and Scottish. We have more from Brythonic, the Britons. Oh, and don't forget the Vikings who brought basically Danish. The official first book in the English language is Beowulf, and it's really Danish. I have to read it in translation. But Chaucer, from around 1300, I think, somewhere in there, I can read his words even though they're spelled funny. English spelling was not standardized until some American school teacher named Richard Busby. Sorry, no relation. My maiden name is Busby, but we are not related. That American school teacher decided English spelling should be standardized. And of course, there's Webster's Dictionary, which became the spelling Bible. I was shown a Welsh word once. Well, anyway, it looked like a three-syllable word, but it was one syllable. And I forget what it was. It was the name of some town. I'm not related to FM Busby either. Not that I know of. My Busbys were descendants of the black African slave and her master. I keep forgetting what his first name was, but he was a Busby. In Virginia. He wasn't wealthy, but he did give his son freedom, his black son. Now the Mormons are trying to make off that his mother was really the Mr. Busby's wife. It wasn't. And we know for a fact from our black cousins in Texas, their parents, or at least their grandparents, actually knew the guy. But you see, the ones in my line, the black men kept marrying white women, so I look white. And Ancestry DNA couldn't find any African DNA in me. But, they aren't all that thorough. Oh, Oswald, I can talk about spelling whenever I want to. I can even spell interesting. I can't spell interesting. Yep. Dawn is bashing TV commercials, and Etsy Quentia says the stuff they stick between commercials is the real problem. Even the newscasters who are just pretty heads reading a teleprompter, even they no longer speak proper English. And I'm not as strict as many when it comes to people who are just talking, but when you're on the television being paid all that money to speak, you ought to speak and not just noodle through. Oh, yeah, Don's favorite newscaster is Howard Beale, the only one he likes. Well, I miss George Putnam. I even miss Walter Cronkite, and we didn't like him when he was on the air. Oh, Charlie the tuna. Sorry, Charlie. The tuna commercials. Oh, even if you teach phonics, you gotta watch out. We have words that don't really make sense, where you don't know whether to use an F or a PH, and you're not sure about the vowels. Really, in the Dick and Jane books, those words are easy, but when you read a real book, I'll give you my favorite example. I've said it before. I would read about it, stories about girls riding horses, and their hair was always messed up. And this word was spelled Awry. It's the only place I'd ever seen it, never heard it. And I sounded it out. AW is aw, and RY is Ari. Well, guess what? It's AWRY, awry. The W is silent. I finally heard someone saying it on television. It was a word that nobody used anymore. Oh, but it must have been a British person. Something is awry. I went, oh, it isn't Ari. Somebody's, it scrolled up too far. And, oh, Angus remembers learning phonics at a Montessori school. My baby sister went to a Montessori school. I just pestered mom relentlessly until she uh, taught me to read, and she started with the sounds of the letters. Freeman says Charlie the tuna's voice washed up on a beach one day, died of mercury poisoning. Okay, that's a joke. Kind of a sick joke. Oh, Dawn remembers Hooked on Phonics tapes and books. Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm not sure about Italian. Some of their words have a G where you don't expect it. But Spanish and even German, they're easy to spell. Now, French, you can get messed up because they don't pronounce them. I mean, you know how they spell tuna paw? My German teacher, French teacher made a joke out of it. Tunas don't have paws, they're fish, but it means you are not. And the other one was Je t'adore, which means I love you, but it sounds like shut a door. So you'd say, shut it yourself, I'm busy. Okay, let me try to spell tuna paw. I think that's right. Yeah, French class was fun, but I barely pulled a B and I had a tutor. In German, I didn't even have to study and I got all A's. German was like speaking English with a funny accent. There's a tuna paw in California. I think it's TUNAPA. German class. Yeah. I don't know. I just clicked with German. I did well in Spanish in junior high, 7th and 8th grades. But I've forgotten a lot of vocabulary in all these other languages. Anyway, tuna paw, I think, is TU, new word, N as in Nancy, apostrophe, EST, new word, P as in Paul, AS. And Nespa, let's spell Nespa. N-E C apostrophe ESTPAS. I think that's right. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's it. Angus picked up Spanish work in construction in high school. Never had a language class. I've picked up, of course, words for food. Taco, tortilla, tostada, burrito. I have trouble trilling R's. I'm a little tongue-tied, for real. Oh, Nevada and Arizona have tonopah. Okay. Oh, I can't tolerate a lot of hot peppers, but I really love a good tostada. Oh, and the rice and beans when they're made right. Settle down, Oswald. Well, what we call Mexican food in America is not Mexican food. For example, the tacos. Now, they had tacos traditionally, but they were nothing like the tacos we have. Uh, and if you were in Mexico having actual Mexican food, it would not be the same. And chili actually comes from Texas. Yeah, I like Taco Bell and Del Taco and those once in a while. But trust me, it's not really Mexican food. But I've been to a couple real Mexican restaurants with Mexican cooks and so forth, Mexican owners. They make the most awesome food. And they don't overdo the spices for us gringos unless we ask. Hot peppers just don't go down well for me. But it was a little mom and pop, hole in the wall restaurant that was incredibly successful because it was real Mexican food. Okay. Let's see. I gotta translate one word. Oh, okay. Well, California was not a part of Mexico. The Mexican army invaded and held the state for about 20 years before the Californios finally kicked them out. and then joined the United States for protection against invasion. California was a separate Spanish colony, and when Spain left, the Mexican army took advantage. Now, Louis L'Amour wrote about the Californians. His books were based on actual knowledge, not just, most of them are true stories, or even though they might be embellished. You remember Zorro? Anybody? Zorro, the fox so cunning and free. Zorro, he makes the mark of the Z. Was a TV show. I think it was Disney that made it. He was supposed to be a wealthy son of a wealthy noble in California during the occupation by the Mexican army. It was slightly humorous, but mostly about how Zorro foiled the evil plots of the Mexican generals and other officers. Let's see, Quentia saw the movie with Anthony Hopkins. I'm trying to remember who played Zorro. He did many roles. Oh, he was the father on Lost in Space. Dang, never remember his name. Guy Williams. And they even had one Mexican sergeant who was probably the inspiration for Sergeant Schultz on that show. Now I've forgotten the title of the show about the prisoners of war in Germany. Well, Anthony Banderas was the actor in the movie. Okay. Hogan's Heroes. Yeah. Disney used to do shows about Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone and all sorts of historical figures who are no longer politically correct. Did you know that Davy Crockett served in the United States Congress? Or that Daniel Boone, the trailblazer, actually kept moving because he couldn't get along with all the people who kept following him. And he was adopted by one of the Indian tribes. They admired him and loved him. Don didn't know that Davy Crockett was a real person. Daniel Boone was a cousin to one of my ancestors. I'm also related to Pat Boone and Richard Boone, the singer and the actor. Johnny Appleseed was real, but he wasn't really much like the cartoon character. but he is a major reason why we have apples. If I remember correctly, the Americas had apple trees, but the apples were black. Not worth it, wild apples. They didn't taste good. But Johnny Appleseed brought seeds from Europe. What he did was he went around to the apple presses where they made cider and apple juice and asked for the pressed up apples that they no longer had a use for, and that's where he got his seeds. We're over 3.5 hours, guys. Yeah, I do like apples. I have an apple tree. It didn't do much last year. Kind of because when it was time to bloom, we had snowmageddon. But I have high hopes for it this year. It's an heirloom variety called Delicious. Our red Delicious was a genetic defect on a real Delicious apple tree. And the red Delicious is anything but delicious. It's all marketing. They don't have much flavor. They are sweet, but Golden Delicious, though, I think they were deliberately bred. They taste so good. They're almost like pears, but they're crisp, and pears are kind of mushy. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, an apple tree preservation group took some clippings from my tree and grafted them onto trees at an apple orchard sanctuary, and they're known as Friendly Lane Delicious because I live on Friendly Lane. Oh, Etsy Quindia says the Davy Crockett was a gun developed by the U.S. Army in the 50s. It fired small atomic bombs. Really? Yeah. Maybe. I doubt it. Technology wasn't quite that good. Small bombs, yes, not atomic. Freeman says, I don't know who taught American history to Mel Brooks, but damn it, he got so much right. Ooh, a bad word. There actually was a Jewish rabbi who passed through Zuni and Toas Indian lands and survived. Oh, I remember that movie. He had the Torah scroll, and the oldest daughter didn't want to marry him, but the next daughter down, the next younger daughter said, I'll marry him. And he was okay with that. I think it's a movie with if the Davy Crockett gun actually fired atomic bombs, then it had to be a big one, at least the size of a howitzer cannon, not a gun that you hold in your hands. All right. Let's check out Google before I finally leave and get my BLT with avocado. It's beginning to sound familiar. It's the kind of thing my older and smarter brother talks about. The M28 or M29 Davy Crockett weapon system was a tactical nuclear recoil-less smoothbore gun for firing the M388 nuclear projectile. It fits on a tripod and it can be operated by one man. Wow. Blast yield 20 tons of TNT or 84 gigajoules, I think. No, it takes a crew of 5. So I guess it can't be fired by one man. A range of 1.25 miles or 2 kilometers. That's for the 28. The M29 has a range of 2.5 miles or 4 kilometers. It weighs over 100 pounds, unloaded. But when you load it, it's over 300 pounds. Oh, pardon me. No, both unloaded. The M28 is over 100 pounds, and the M29 is over 300 pounds, both unloaded. So it takes a good-sized crew. And yeah, they look like cannon or howitzers. So it isn't exactly a gun, it's more of a cannon. We had Davy Crockett hats that were made from rabbits. Long time ago. Mom, the evil, the devil's sister, threw them out. Oh, Taos. That sounds more familiar, Freeman, than Toas. Taos. I'm not related to Davy Crockett, only Daniel Boone. My brothers got to go with Dad to see the Alamo, the movie in the theater. Mom wouldn't let me go because, they shoot guns. It's too violent. Mom didn't know me very well. Yeah, I choose not to have a gun, but I don't freak out if you have one. Long as it isn't pointed at me. I tend to be stoic. Doesn't always work to my advantage, but I'm just not the type to have a screaming fit. Well, you guys are into movies now. So at 3 3/4 hours, you guys gotta be tired of listening to me. And I gotta take care of Patches and make my sandwich. So I'll catch you again. If it gets up to at least 40 degrees, I'll go outside with my phone and film the snow for you. But in the meantime, thank you all for listening, and have a great day. It's been awesome having all of you here. That's why you've kept me so long. Couldn't do it on my own. You guys make this show possible. Remember that. Meow, purr, and bye. You guys are the best.